OmniTalk Fast 5 is brought to you by the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Miracle, the catalyst of commerce. Over 450 retailers are now opening new revenue streams with marketplaces, dropship, and retail media, and succeeding. With Miracle, you can unlock more products, more partners, and more profits without the heavy lifting. What's holding you back? Visit miracle.com to learn more. That's MIRAKL.com. And Symbi. Symbi powers the most retail banners in the world with today's only multimodal platform for in-store intelligence. See how Albertsons, BJ's, Spartan Nash, and Wakefern win with AI and automation at SymbiRobotics.com. And Infios. At Infios, they unite warehousing, transportation, and order management into a seamless, adaptable network. Infios helps you stay ahead from promise to delivery and every step in between. To learn more, visit Infios.com. And Clear Demand. Pricing shouldn't be guesswork. Clear Demand's AI-powered pricing, data, and optimization solutions help retailers stay competitive while protecting margins. Smarter pricing, stronger profits. Clear Demand makes it happen. Learn more at cleardemand.com/OmniTalk. And finally, Ocampo Capital. Ocampo Capital is a venture capital firm founded by retail executives with the aim of helping early-stage consumer businesses succeed through investment and operational support. Learn more at ocampocapital.com. Hello, you are listening to OmniTalk's Retail Fast 5, ranked in the top 10% of all podcasts globally and currently the only retail podcast ranked in the top 100 of all business podcasts on Apple Podcasts. The Retail Fast 5 is the podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but most importantly, a little happier each week too. And the Fast 5 is just one of the many great podcasts that you can find from the OmniTalk Retail Podcast Network, alongside our Retail Daily Minute, which brings you a curated selection of the most important retail headlines every morning, and our Retail Technology Spotlight series, which goes deep each week on the latest retail technology trends. It's July 9th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Sam Mazinga.
And I'm Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the top headlines from the past week, making waves in the world of omnichannel retailing. But Chris, what our listeners most definitely care most about is if you are, in fact, now the sausage king of Edina, Minnesota. How did the brats turn out?
I definitely was not the sausage king of Chicago, and I think actually probably the most appropriate term is the gastroenteritis king of Minnesota, because I think I gave my wife mini food poisoning because of an uncooked bratwurst. Which I don't know. I don't know why I can't figure out how to use a meat thermometer. And I stick the meat thermometer in. It says it's well done, and then they eat it and it's like raw. And I don't know. I just cannot ever get a meat thermometer to work. So if anyone has any meat thermometer tricks, let me know. Like, am I putting it in too early? Do I need to let it sit? I don't know what I'm doing, but
I have no idea. I cannot help you.
I feel Saturday for her.
I feel like you need to remember that guy we interviewed from the thermometer company and outdoor
I've got
retailer.
That thermometer. Yes.
I know. I feel like you need,
whatever it is.
Yeah. I think you need to like send a message to him and get the download on like what you're missing, because my guess is that guy can give you an answer.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably has like a step-by-step technique that is very, very helpful to.
What about a YouTube video? Did you watch a YouTube video?
I'm sure there's things. It's just a question of how much time do I want to invest in this. But I guess when the health and safety of my family is involved, I probably should. How about you? Were you the chicken wing king, the wing king of Minneapolis last weekend?
No, I was not the wing, but I did make a wonderful burrata salad that went over very well. So I think, and some avocado breakfast toast. So yes, that went swimmingly, but we had some really good, really good.
Sea salt? Did you put some sea salt on those tomatoes?
Sea salt, made a little like basil olive oil drizzle. It was wonderful. So yes, we had a great time. And the hot sauces were great this year. Like my sister curated her own selection from the hot ones. Highly recommend you go to that website and do the same thing. It's really wonderful. Really? You don't have to pick the box. You can pick your own levels. And they say like, this is the 1 through 10. You can pick from these. So the Thai chili, and there was a Polish hot sausage inspired hot sauce that was extraordinary. So those Polish two were the clear winners. Yeah.
Wow, I wonder how many people it takes to put that sauce in that bottle. Anyway, all right, Ann. Let's get to this. Should we get this show going after that
Yes.
Polish joke?
Yes.
Which I'm
Yes.
Polish fan, so yes, yes, I
Oh my
love
God.
Polish jokes. All right, well, we got to get started this weekend with this month's OmniStar. Yes, for those new to the podcast, our OmniStar Award is the award we give out each month in partnership with Corso to recognize the top omnichannel operators out there, not the pundits, not the so-called experts, but the real-life retail operators making a difference in their organizations. Corso's AI Copilot coaches retail leaders to optimize store performance at every level, transform retail operations from data overload into data power load. And congratulations to our friends at Corso too, Ann, for closing their Series B round recently
Yeah.
this week too.
Big
Huge news for
news.
them. Yeah, they're on a roll for sure. But this month, Ann, we are excited to give the OmniStar Award to Tracey Brown, the EVP, President, and Chief Customer Officer at Walgreens. Now, I'm sure some of you might be asking, why would you do this? Why would you do this, Chris and Ann? Well, because Tracey is doing what we love here at OmniTalk. She is eating what she cooks. According to a recent LinkedIn post that caught our attention, Tracey became a licensed pharmacy tech. And for the past
What?
several months, this is so cool, right? And for the past several months, has been working in Walgreens pharmacies on the weekends as a way, to better understand and to accelerate change. So I love that, man. She's like working in the pharmacies on the weekends.
That's
There's
exceptional.
nothing better
I
than
mean,
that. Yeah.
not everyone can do that, Tracy, but wow. Wow. So impressed by your dedication to your teams and to really understanding what's going on. I'm sure they appreciate that too.
Yeah, yeah. And Tracy's a frequent liker and follower of our work too. So shout out to her and congrats to her for being named this month's OmniStar. All right, in this week's Fast Five, we've got news on Amazon's national UK partnership with Gopuff, how Staples has made service a key piece of its business, Sephora working with Lyft to deliver customers to its stores, and a new grocery app called Grocery Dealz, deals with a Z. I know you like that, Ann, that allows for real-time price comparisons. But we begin today with big news out of Walmart because I feel like dinner tonight. I feel like dinner tonight, Ann.
Oh my God. Headline number one, Walmart is attempting to answer the age-old question, what's for dinner? If you didn't catch that from Chris's version of the jingle, I feel like chicken tonight. According to Progressive Grocer, Dinner Tonight, which launched in early June, is a one-step platform on Walmart's website, an app that aims to be a total meal solution for shoppers. Customers can simply type in dinner tonight, easy dinner, easy meals, or be routed directly to the landing page. Dinner Tonight features one-click baskets with everything from spaghetti and meatballs to tacos and stir fry, as well as a recipe hub, shoppable lists, and global meal inspiration. Customers can also use the platform to shop for hot rotisserie chickens, wings, and favorites like berry chantilly cake to be delivered directly from Walmart's deli and bakery. Chris, what's the verdict on Walmart's Dinner Tonight platform?
Chantilly. I actually love this, Ann. I don't know if you tried it out, but did you try it out yesterday? I tried it too. Yeah. And it's pretty slick. Like you preload your delivery time, which is kind of cool. Like I wasn't expecting that to do that. And then you can one click anything you want from recipes to ready-made meals to heat and eat options. Like it's all available to you. And I think that's great because it hits on a need state of what do I want to do for dinner? Because, and it's in the moment too, which is long made meal kit options kind of impractical and wasteful at the end of the day because you have to pre-order all that stuff in advance. Then you're like, I don't want chicken Kiev for dinner tonight, right? Like that's just not something I'm in the mood for. So this changes that. And the other point I would make is I could see the way it works. I could see people using it habitually. But the thing I love most about it, Ann, is it goes back to a prediction I made in 2018 where I said meal kits were going to go the way of the dodo bird. And I called them in Forbes the equivalent of the stylus on the Palm Pilot because an actual grocery store is a meal kit when you think about it, when it's supercharged with technology, and technology can just do it better. So that's what Walmart is doing here. They're taking the idea and they're making it better. And so kudos to them. And I laud them yet again for what I think is a platform with a lot of potential here. Just depends over how they manipulate it over time.
I think potential is the key word here. I mean, looking at it right now, there's nothing revolutionary about this. It's the same thing that you see on a lot of sites, with the exception of how they're going through and you're planning your time. But if you just go to dinner tonight, like, yes, there's a recipe hub. Yes, there's you can pick heat and eat meals. Like a lot of retailers are doing this, but I think what is interesting about this is number one, the speed. No grocer can match this speed and this collection of recipes right now like
No,
Walmart
right.
can. I mean, and on top of it, which I think is even better, is like what I did yesterday was ordering all of these things plus a few of essentials. Like my kid needed sunscreen, an extra bottle of sunscreen. So it's like all of these things that truly make sense to happen in this one moment. And what I love even more is that I think Sparky is not even integrated into this yet fully. Like you have to go to a different like place to ask Sparky a question, but it is serving up the content. So if you went to Walmart and you're like, "What's for dinner tonight, Sparky?" It'll pop up. The key thing here is that not only will that pop up on if you're on Walmart.com searching for it, but when more and more people are going to ChatGPT asking the same question, "What's for dinner tonight?" Walmart will be showing up there. These recipes will be showing up there. They've done all the right things to connect all the dots here so that you make sure that you're showing up and you're going to pay off that experience tenfold once people realize, "Oh wow, I can get this to my house in an hour or less," hitting on that need state that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it actually isn't a more budget-friendly way to actually do your grocery shopping too. Like when you're just buying your dinner in the moment every day for what you feel like you and your family are
Sure.
gonna want to eat, and you're
Yeah.
paying the fee for Walmart Plus, but then you get the delivery, at a reduced rate, and so like you're not wasting food anymore either. So like I think this is great for both income stratas, which Walmart is killing at. They're killing it,
Hmm.
the traditional customer that they have, and then expanding it into people, at the higher income echelons for the reasons that you described. So yeah, I think it's great. All right, headline number two: Amazon has rolled out 15-minute grocery deliveries to cities across the UK after striking a national partnership with rapid delivery firm Gopuff. According to a Retail Gazette, the ultra-fast service, first trialed in Birmingham, like I said, Birmingham, and
I do.
try to
I
pull
do.
out my best Ben Miller impersonation, and Salford in May, is now available in cities including London, Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Cardiff, Bristol, and Sheffield if you're keeping score at home. Amazon customers can now order groceries, cleaning products, baby supplies, and alcohol 24/7 via a retailer's website or app with delivery speeds of as little as 15 minutes in some areas. The move is powered by GoPuff's network of micro-fulfillment centers strategically located close to customers to enable near-instant delivery. The tie-up adds to the online giant's growing roster of grocery partners, including Morrison's, Co-op, and Iceland, as the e-commerce giant steps up its focus on convenience and speed in the competitive UK grocery market. And my question for you, do you think Amazon's UK partnership with GoPuff says more about the state of Amazon or the state of GoPuff?
I mean, I immediately thought, like, what's poor GoPuff? Like, they must be in some dire straits here that they're just like, well, we're just going to white label for Amazon now. Like, it's a business model, but it certainly is quite a
Right.
departure from where they were, 2 or 3 or however many grocery shops ago that was, where they were on stage talking about how they were going to dominate the delivery space, especially the rapid delivery space. So for me, I question what this does for GoPuff in the long run because they are losing all the customer data to Amazon. Like all the value of this is going
Right.
away, and so it just seems like, can the GoPuff model still sustain itself on just being a white label delivery provider? And especially when you think about who we're talking about here now with Amazon, and I think that's the question that I have. Like, do they get to test the logistics and the validity of 15-minute delivery and the need here without building their own network? Yes, this is of huge value to them. But I have to imagine that once they figure this out, they're just going to learn everything from GoPuff, replicate it for themselves in some way, and then either figure out it's not financially feasible, we're going to shut it down, or B, we'll just do this better ourselves. I don't see this as like a
Mm,
lasting partnership. But where
mm.
do you land on it? What do you think?
That's interesting. And one point of clarification for the audience too. It was a little unclear like how this is actually from the article. Is a little unclear on like how this actually shows up on Amazon. Like I think given the allusions to Morrison's and Co-op and stuff, like I think it probably shows up as like on their marketplace, like GoPuff is the vendor, but I don't know for sure. So I don't know if,
Yeah.
for
It said like
for
you go
GoPuff,
to Amazon, right? You go to Amazon, you
yeah,
order
you
your
go to
groceries.
Amazon.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, but it's hard to tell. So, but I think, I think it says a lot about both, but I think it says more about Amazon. For GoPuff, it's like you're saying, they can't make it alone. They need the scale to make their
Yeah.
delivery model even work at a profit from a profit perspective, is my guess, which is not a surprise to anyone. For Amazon, though, like I think there's some interesting angles here, which I potentially disagree with you a little bit, or not disagree with you, but I think there's some extensions here that we have to think about. I mean, it tells me they're definitely taking the marketplace approach in the UK, which
Hmm.
again, like we've asked on the show, like why are the grocers signing up for this? That's my
Yeah.
number one question. Like, why are
Yep.
you giving Amazon this position of strength? But number two, why is Amazon having so much trouble going direct and establishing a grocery foothold in the market, similar to the trouble they're having over here in the States? So that's the one thing where I'm like, okay, can they ever really go direct? I mean, if they're doing this, like, they're using the marketplace partners to help them reach the market, but like the idea of going direct eventually, I don't know if that's their game because, and we'll talk about this more in headline 5. I'm wondering if they're actually setting this up more for like an agentic AI play where they have the
Hmm.
stable of grocers online and then they can, mix and match people and delivery times and
Hmm.
expectations to that for them. And they're kind of saying, you know what, we don't want to be in this logistics game, especially in this market. But let's start thinking about the next wave of how customers are going to interact for groceries with us. And let's start to put in the infrastructure for that. And we'll talk more about that in headline 5, particularly. But I think that's potentially the one thing I'm like, maybe there's like a different end game here that just isn't as obvious.
I hadn't thought about that. So you think that Amazon would be like taking multiple grocers orders for different things. You just order it all through Amazon and then it all arrives at different times based on when they're doing the pickups.
Yeah, especially when you think about the value of Amazon, which is always about selection and price. So you get the agentic AI agents working for you to do your grocery shopping. It can
Hmm.
find the lowest price of whatever item you're looking for and has the selection and can get you the delivery speed that you want too. Do you want 15 minutes? You want next day? You want,
Right.
2 day, whatever it is. I think that's potentially the idea here that I think it's something we need to be thinking about more consciously than we probably are when we read the headline, just on its face value.
Right. Yeah. Hadn't even thought about that. It's one of the beauties of doing this show.
Having
Um,
epiphanies in the moment, and
Having
there's nothing like an
epiphanies in the
epiphany in the
moment.
moment.
Yes, yes. All right, well, let's go on to headline number 3. Maybe another epiphany will be here. Not so sure though. Staples appears to be angling for new relevance with services on top of office supplies. According to Modern Retail, other than pens and computer paper, business retailer Staples says these days they derive traffic from services like printing, shipping, and passports, Chris. Most recently,
Oh,
this includes a pilot with Verizon to sell phones and devices in store, plus business specific services like internet and phone plans. President of Staples US Retail, Marshall Warkentin, said that the company introduced the
great
partnership
name.
with Verizon in 5 stores earlier this year and will expand it to 30 more stores later this summer. Once a mainstay of the Fortune 500 list, Staples lost ground in the office supply sales during the mid 2010s amid competition from e commerce players. An attempt to acquire Office Depot and Office Max in 2015 failed on antitrust grounds, and the company then pivoted to a B2B strategy and was bought by Sycamore Partners in 2017. As a private company, Staples doesn't share revenue or profit figures, but its future relies on its ability to provide business services out of about 945 locations that are within roughly 5 miles of the 90% of the US population. Printing is still the main driver for and they can print from the design service Canva, which allows users to pick up items in store. In 2022, it introduced same day passport photos and processing services, and about 200 stores also offer TSA pre check enrollment, yielding about 1 million approvals a year. Chris, that was a lot of information.
It
Are you
was.
buying the service's salvation story at Staples?
Absolutely not. 100% no. I'm not buying it
Okay.
one iota, Ann. And the reason for that is pretty simple for me. Like, if your core business, as the article says, is still printing, that's a dying business. Like, at the end of the day, there's no two bones about it. It's a dying business. And the services that you're offering, that you're purporting are helping you, passport photos, TSA pre-check, and mobile phone activations, particularly, those are the three that were called out the most. They're all one-offs and have nothing to do with printing. Absolutely zero to do with printing. So long term, there are many competitors in all of those spaces and other options, which means the customer acquisition cost for these services will be relatively higher for Staples than it will be for other people, while your printing business is still dwindling. So no, I'm selling this. It sounds like a completely crafted narrative to make Staples sound better than it potentially is. That's my take, Ann. I hate to be blunt, but that's what I feel.
Well, luckily, no one is holding stock in this company right now, so they don't have to be too worried about it.
Just the private investors.
Just the private investors. But so when I read this story, it reminded me of a conversation that I had with the president of Office Depot, Kevin Moffitt, back at e-tail. We were talking about, I asked him this question point blank, and I was like, why are you still relevant? Like, what needs are the Office Maxes and Office Depots of the world still serving? And while I agree with you that there will be burnout, and he agreed that like their businesses is evolving quite a bit, he still sold me on the value that they're providing small businesses. I do think that we're in a slow phase out of the mass printing like we used to see, the copying paper and all the things like that. But when he explained to me, like, they have the fastest in-store pickup, buy online pickup in store of anyone in the world, he said. So within 20 minutes or less, you can go to an Office Depot, you can get the things that you need. And to be within 5 miles of 90% of the country, like, there is still some value there for a lot of the small businesses that do depend on them as their one-stop shop. It's their printer, it's their, shipping location. It's the place that they can go and do all the things in one place. But I do agree that eventually we will find new ways of doing this. The menu example of printing off new menus every day, like, that will likely go by the wayside. Something will change there. So I don't think I'd be putting my money on this one for the long term, but I do think it's going to be a bit more of a slow burn than most of us would expect.
Yeah, it's a smart pitch and a smart way to try to get extra business, like get TSA pre-check applications going through your store. I guess.
They do get a lot. Like, Office Depot and Office Max do that too. And he said it's crazy, like, the amount of volume that they get. But
I'd rather go there than the airport for 100%. Right. If I'm a retailer listening, I'm like, why aren't I doing that too? Like, if I'm Costco or Sam's Club or whatever, like, why aren't I doing that? Why am I letting this business go to Staples? Like, people are in my store more often. Why aren't I setting up these things? Right? I don't know.
But are people buying the $500 office chair while they're there? Probably not. And that's the thing that you have to look at, like, how much that's the business that you're making the real margins on. Are you going to see people do that behavior? Probably, they're probably looking online for that stuff to find the best price. And I don't know that Office Max, Depot, or Staples are going to be that for them.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right, headline number 4. This one's going to be interesting. I'm not sure where you and I are each going to fall on this next headline. Sephora taps Lyft to deliver customers to its stores. According to Retail Dive, while several retailers are promising major discounts and speedy delivery during their July sales events, Sephora is flipping the script by delivering shoppers themselves to its retail locations for in-store guidance and special pricing. Sephora and Lyft Media have partnered on a promotion to literally drive potential beauty customers to a handful of its freestanding locations between July 7th and July 10th, right amid all the Prime Day festivities this week. Promoted as, quote, delivered to beauty, the 4-day event provides customers with a $20 credit for one-way rides on Lyft to a participating Sephora location. There they will receive in-store guidance and discounts of $10 on any purchase over $50. Select Sephora stores in New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, and Seattle are participating in the promotion. And do you think Sephora and Lyft's partnership is omni-channel genius amid Prime Day, or is it more just good marketing spin?
I think this is a great marketing campaign, and that's what you have to look at this as. I don't think this is like a future pilot where Sephora starts, bringing people to their stores and offering car service, but I do think that it's a worthwhile test and investment. I think it's a way to provide people a luxury experience at a price point that, it's a $28 bottle of lotion. Maybe that's what they buy once they get to Sephora. It still gives them that white glove service that they don't typically get from a mass retailer like a Sephora. So I think it's a really cool way to establish some brand loyalty, get some advocacy and some media attention and some social media posts from people who will most definitely share this experience online. But I do not think that it's something that we'll see go beyond this is all coming from the marketing funding bucket. This is not coming from like new store innovation money or R&D.
Yeah.
That's my perspective.
It's not long-term strategically differentiating in with the coming throes of e-commerce. That's what you're telling me.
No, nor do I think this is like a long-term play. I think this is going to be an idea until other retailers start doing it, and then it's not cool and innovative anymore.
Yeah. No, good. I'm surprised we agree on this one. Yeah, I was kind of wondering if you were going to take that approach. I 100% agree. I don't think this is anything new. I can remember, I don't think I've ever told you this. I can remember back in 1999, Banana Republic was running cars on demand around San Francisco to get people into their stores. And that was well before Prime Day even existed. So this is not new. And in fact, go ahead.
Luxury retailers have been doing this for years. Like, I mean, Neiman's, Bergdorf, they'll send a car for their good customers. Like, you always say, the casino model. Like, we'll take you wherever you want to go. You're going to come spend money. Go for it. Yeah.
Right. But it's not going to stave off.
It's
not going to stay. I mean, the point is, it's not going to stave off the Prime Day drain in any way, shape, or form, especially when you're just doing like 5 cities. But it does make a compelling headline of like the omni-channel strategy when you pitch it in the media that way. So kudos to the Sephora marketing team for getting that hook and getting people to bite on it more so than they would if it was just the traditional things like you were just describing, right?
Yeah. I think it's brilliant. You look at their target audience. I mean, you have teens that don't have licenses that need to get into the store and giving them the opportunity to spend a bunch of money. Like you'll make your marketing impressions. That's for sure. Like, I think this is a very worthwhile marketing investment, but yes, not the strategy that's going to help them take off.
I just laugh at our retail media peers that pick up these sound bites that the PR teams are throwing them. Like, oh, it's, an omni-channel strategy to combat Prime Day. I'm like, come on. Like, let's be real here. This has been done before. All right.
Yep. All right. Well, I know we've got a lot to talk about on headline number 5, so let's get to that. The new grocery app, Grocery Dealz, acts as an e-commerce marketplace that allows shoppers to compare costs between supermarkets and quickly build a cart. According to Grocery Dive, the new app aims to be the gas buddy of the grocery industry, said Michael Waldrop, its CEO and one of its co-founders. The free app enables shoppers to compare grocers' prices and then quickly build a cart. Users will be able to build the cart in-app and then be directed to the selected grocer's app or website with the cart already made. In cases where the cart can't be carried over completely to the grocer's platform, shoppers will still be directed to their preferred grocer's website. Grocery Dealz' initial launch was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in mid-June, and the app is slated to expand to the rest of Texas with the long-term goal of reaching shoppers nationwide. In May, the company said its national expansion will happen region by region and state by state. Chris, this is also the put you on the spot question. A&M wants to know, when the gas finding app Gas Buddy took off, the pricing transparency to consumers put major pressure on fuel retailers to dynamically respond to the competitive pricing environment around them. But it also served to firmly establish relative pricing strategies for the same retailers across the market. As this kind of pricing transparency makes its way into grocery, should retailers be concerned about a race to the bottom, or is there inherent benefit in there for them? Wow, great question. I was hoping I was kind of hoping that they would pick this headline too. Yes. As we were talking to them yesterday. I was like, I think I know where they're going to go this week, and it turns out they did. First of all, I think the analogy is a little bit different here because for a convenience store or a gas station, you still have to go to the gas station. Long term, you don't necessarily need to do that to get your groceries, but you still have to go to a gas station to get gas into your car. So that's a fundamental difference here. So if I'm the grocery industry, and I'm super scared about this. Yeah. Not because of this app per se,
But because of the whole idea that it opens my eyes to, which I alluded to in the previous headline regarding Amazon and Gopuff, agentic AI is coming fast and furiously. We all know that. And so you can envision a world where AI agents will be able to coordinate orders from different grocers on price, which means e-commerce could become unsustainable for many players in the grocery space if that is the case, because many grocers simply don't have the margin structure to move lower than where they currently are. And so all told, this is the first example of incredible disruption that will be coming to that end in my mind. And it reminds me of the anecdote. What comes to mind for me when I think about this headline particularly, it calls to mind the anecdote of Doug McMillon carrying around in his pocket the top 10 retailers by decade, because this is going to upend that list big time. And the retailers that should be quaking in my mind are Albertsons and Kroger, because particularly they play the high-low game. While others like Walmart, Aldi, Amazon, they're going to win in this space. And they're the ones investing and being smartly already putting, as you mentioned with Sparky, they're the ones putting resources towards agentic AI functionality on their website to capitalize on this in the long run. So it's crazy to think about. I know it's kind of out there and wild, but it's going to come, and you've got to start wrapping your head around it and start thinking about, what do I do in this situation? What is my digital strategy as a grocer now as I go forward? How am I going to differentiate on price? How do I want my prices to show up in online versus stores? A whole host of questions to think about. And man, the grocery industry is so fascinating, but god damn, their jobs are hard.
Yeah. And it makes me think even more now than ever, like you need to have a pricing platform in place because now that you have this visibility across the board too, you can no longer rely on manual price changes, like things like that. Like you have to make sure that you're in competition with an app like this. And I think the other part of A&M's question too, Chris, I think retailers, I tried this app out yesterday and I put items in my cart and kind of shifted it around.
Oh, you could get it? Oh, did you tell me you were in Dallas or something?
Yeah,
I tried it.
Yeah, you can use I just used a Dallas zip code. But
oh, cool.
The app itself is still not like super user friendly. For example, like I put in eggs, milk, and ground beef as like 3 categories. Now, it can't transfer over exactly because the brands are different. Like there's still some stuff that would, I think if I was a legacy grocer, I might be like, oh, people aren't going to do this. They're not going to like, this is too much hassle. It's easy to dismiss. But I think what's going to be so important is that those are easy problems to fix. This is like phase 1 in one market. And this is why, as a retailer, you can't just pass off a technology like it's not ready. This is going to come fast and furious for you, grocery industry. And those kind of kinks will be worked out quickly because there's so much to gain from the consumer perspective here. So I think it is a big concern. I agree with you for members of the grocery industry to be paying attention to.
Yeah, you could dismiss the app, but you can't necessarily dismiss the idea, the fundamental idea that it's predicated upon.
Right.
And that's why we do this show, quite honestly, is to go beyond the headlines and talk about, the implications here for the long term.
And there isn't even loyalty played into this yet either. Like that's the other thing that I think makes a big difference. If you look at, this July shopping week that's been instigated by Prime Week, I mean, I was shocked at some of the loyalty plays that were happening. Like, you're comparing prices on an espresso coffee machine, right? But if you go to Walmart, like I got an extra $10 cash back for that. Or at Target, they were giving a certain deal. Like the loyalty parts haven't even come into this app yet either. So I think there's even more potential for this app once you start to think about like fetch rewards or an upside getting involved in this too. And then being able to show like, okay, but with your loyalty, you can also get these things here. So there's a lot for grocers to be paying attention to.
Yeah. And remember we had David Dorf, I think it was David Dorf of AWS. I'm thinking it was him who told us about, what does loyalty mean in the agentic AI world?
Right.
Like, how important is that? Or do you just start caring about price? Like you just want to get everything coordinated to you and delivered for you. And yeah, maybe the loyalty schemes work in the background, but do you even pay attention to them anymore? Who the hell knows?
Right.
But that's why this is important.
All right. Well, let's go to the lightning round. Chris, question number 1. Grocery Dealz, who we just mentioned, the new gas app for groceries, is the free app that helps visitors compare the cost of groceries at a variety of nearby outlets and then builds virtual carts for them to save money on their groceries. I'm curious what 3 grocery items you would use this app for.
Oh man, and God, I gotta think about this. So when I think about like what are my grocery staples, the things I'm going to the grocery store, I go to the grocery store a lot. I go almost every day. Um, and I think the three things that are in my cart the most are and this is gonna crack you up. Red vines,
Oh my God. Red vines?
pitted dried dates, and coconut milk. Those are the three things that I'm purchasing the most often. So if I could get a good deal on those and just, I'd be all for it. Yeah,
You're
100%. Get them
you're
delivered to my
you're
door.
messing the algorithm, man. That algorithm is like, we don't know what to make of this guy. He's maybe healthy, but then also still consumes red number five on a regular basis. What's happening? What is going
Yeah,
on?
right. Yeah, I'm an enigma. All right, word on the street is that McDonald's is turning up the heat on breakfast this summer. And starting July 8th, you can add some kick. Oh, this might be up your alley. You can add some kick to your morning routine with the sizzling debut of the spicy McMuffin breakfast sandwich. The limited time glow up includes everything you already love about the iconic Egg McMuffin, plus a fiery, delicious twist, a shot of McDonald's signature spicy pepper sauce. And will you or anyone in your family give a spicy McMuffin a whirl?
What's the signature spicy pepper sauce? Does this exist
No
already? Like
idea.
this is Chick-fil-A sauce that McDonald's has and they just don't know about it?
No
I'm
idea, but it
well,
doesn't hook me at all.
we are, I would say
Doesn't
our
hook me at all.
family is pretty exclusively Starbucks breakfast eaters,
Oh,
because
wow.
it's just more convenient. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I had a McDonald's breakfast. But I mean, I'm intrigued. I love it. Who doesn't love a spicy sausage breakfast sandwich? That sounds interesting.
So you might give it a shot. You might give it a shot.
Yeah, maybe. We don't have a McDonald's that we are frequenting ever. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It'd have to be the right time and place.
there isn't a McDonald's that's really close by to us. That's a good point, which is kind of odd when you think about it. There aren't a lot of fast food restaurants in our neighborhood, actually.
No, not a bad thing. No, I'll take it. Okay. Question three, Chris. Bob's Discount Furniture is starting a new series of social programming, including one segment called Furniture Eulogies, which will give heartfelt shout outs to questionable design choices within your home. Which design element or item in your house needs to be eulogized, Chris?
Oh my God, that is such a wonderful question, Ann, and I know the exact answer for me in my house. It's our dining room table. I freaking hate the thing. It's huge. It's wooden. I got a tip for you all. Okay, never ever buy a table that you can't write on with a paper and pen. Like it's so frustrating. It's so annoying. I want to get rid of it since the day I got it. And that's my advice for anyone listening, Ann. It's just it's such a bad move. You don't want to do it. Even if it looks
Okay.
cool, don't do it.
Okay, noted. So the dining room
No,
table, no like art or anything that you
gotta
have
be a
had,
flat
or like
surface.
couches
Gotta be a
that
flat
you've had.
surface. No,
Okay, all right,
no, I'm
all
ready to
right.
burn that thing in effigy. And all right, a new dating trend known as Banksying involves slowly withdrawing emotionally from your partner without telling them that that's what you're doing. When the time
Hmm.
comes to finally break up, the Banksier, not the Banksy, the Banksier often feels better having mentally checked out of the relationship long ago, while the other partner is left blindsided and confused. This is so great. Have you ever been Banksyed?
Uh, I have Banksy'd somebody.
You've Banksyed?
My first real boyfriend, Phil. I still feel so bad about it. Like I still have dreams where I feel bad
You.
but I was at college and I was like, whoa, college is great. My high school boyfriend, are we hanging on to this? I don't think so. I want to explore the world here at college. And I was a real jerk and he was the most kind person. So, Phil, if you're listening, I'm real sorry.
No, no. I guess
I
it's kind of
didn't
cool
mean
that we
to
have a
Banksy
name
you.
for it. Like it's not anything new, but it's like kind of interesting that we have a name for it now, right? Like it's something that probably everybody's done at
I
some point. You're in
guess,
this
yeah.
situation or relationship and it's not
I'm not
working.
sure I love the name, but we'll go with it, I guess. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
Bankseed.
right. The
Bankseed.
connection, right? Yeah, I don't know. I agree. All
Feels like
right.
a
Well, happy
stretch to
birthday
me.
to. It sounds like a stretch. Yeah, it does sound like a stretch to me too, but it sounds like something that could catch on too. Happy birthday today to Tom Hanks, Kelly McGillis, and to Victor Cifuentes himself of LA Law, the great Jimmy Smits. And remember, if you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it Omni Talk, the only retail media outlet run by two former executives from a current top 10 U.S. retailer. Our Fast Five podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news. And our daily newsletter, the Retail Daily Minute, tells you all you need to know each day to stay on top of your game as a retail executive, and also regularly feature special content that is exclusive to us and that Ann and I take a lot of pride in doing just for you. Thanks as always for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcast or on YouTube. You can follow us today by simply going to youtube.com/OmniTalkRetail. So until next week, on behalf of all of us at OmniTalk Retail, on behalf of Ann and myself, as always, be careful out there.